There are several different ways that we can format output in Java. We can use the math function so that we can round them up or down. We can use the printf or the print format method, or we can use the decimal format class. This video is going to show you how to use the printf, the print format method, and the decimal format class. You can control the number of decimal places displayed when you use a floating point value in a printf statement by adding the optional precision factor to a format specifier. We can convert our print line statement into a print format quite easily. As you'll see right now, we just take the string. Each child will receive $sign plus the result that's inside the variable. We'll change this to be a printf statement now. We'll copy and paste it to start, and change from print line to printf. Now we have to fix the printf statement. It will place in the variable that we want with the format specifier. The %sign tells Java that where this starts is where we're going to put in our variable that we're going to need to be formatted appropriately. So after the %sign, we tell it that we want it to have a decimal place with 2 decimal places showing, and it'll be treated as a float. Now we get rid of our plus sign and we turn that into a comma. So it will come along here, it'll read, each child will receive, and it comes to this %sign, and that tells it whatever character or whatever variable's in the first spot, that is what we're going to put in here, and we're going to format it to be a floating point decimal with 2 decimal places. I'll run this, and you can see how it's converted it to be floating point number with 2 decimal places. If I want a period at the end, all I have to do is add that period here, and it will display it as well. So that's one way you can do it, by using a printf statement. Another way you can do it is by using the decimal formatter class. And the decimal formatter class is a lot more useful for other means of printing decimals. The decimal format class provides an easy way to convert numbers into strings and allows you to control the display of the leading and trailing zeros, any prefixes, suffixes, groupings, separators, decimal points, all that kind of fun and exciting stuff can be formatted in the properties of a decimal format. Now, the decimal format is a class which we have not used yet, but it uses a string pattern to change the variable to match what it needs to look like. We use a constructor, which you'll learn about later, to tell the decimal format what we want it to look like. The decimal formatting class is a class that we have to import into Java, which again is something that we haven't done up until this point. But importing packages and classes give us more flexibility and customization of our Java programs. To create a decimal format, we're going to begin by creating an instance of the decimal format class, and we're going to tell it what we want it to look like. I have to import my decimal format package, so I'm going to click the error message and click Import Format Decimal. It's going to add an import statement up here to the very top of my Java file. I've set my decimal format pattern so that it will display with whatever value, but it will have 2 zeros, or it will have a spot for 2 zeros at the end. So this means that even if each child was just to receive $13, it would still print 13.00. There's also an optional printing of the decimal places. This pound sign means that if there are numbers there, it will print, and if there are no numbers there, it won't print. So I want to change it back so that no matter what, it's going to print the 2 decimal places. Now, to use this decimal format, I have to tell it to apply that decimal formatting to a value or to a number. So I'm going to take my item back up here, my print line. I'm going to copy it down here. And I'm going to tell it, use the decimal format that I just created on this particular variable. So I'm actually calling the format method on this variable, and it's going to make it so that it will display 2 decimal places. And I need to do some formatting. You can see my printf did not create a new line whenever it's done, so I'm going to cheat and make it have a new line at the end. There we go. And now I get my decimal formatter to format my variable, and I'm going to need to add a decimal or a period at the end too, just like before. So these are 2 ways that you can format decimal places of doubles or float values. The first one's using the printf, and again, that's just limited to the console. But the second one is using the decimal formatter class, which will allow me to apply a decimal formatting to any kind of variable.